had to learn this because this is not my natural state. I don't feel like I'm a negative person, and I don't feel like I was a negative person, but Greg used to tease me that I was pulseless, like I had no pulse. I was just like, right? I move at the same pace, which is like to him a snail's pace all the time. I can't hurry. I'm just like, mm. And to me,
She's way better now, you guys. She was so dull, like when the kids were all
oh,
like,
dull. I
"Yeah,
was
'cause mom has a pulse."
I was
She's
I wasn't that dull
fine.
because you married me. So, what does that say about you? You
Uh-oh.
married a dull person. But I was very even keel, I guess. I had to learn to show more positive emotion because my children interpreted this as almost negative. It was like, and it's easier to go from that to negative. Because, I've talked about the map of consciousness before and the levels of different emotions. Neutral is what is neutral? I forget what's that neutral. Anyways, anything below neutral is like frustration, irritation, annoyance, anger, things like that. If you're operating at what
I
seems
love
like neutral,
Yeah, I love the visual. Look how close you are to negativity
yeah.
when you're in neutral or blah.
So, yeah, exactly. So, one of the strategies we have learned to do, and this comes with practice, right? And it comes with your own style and personality. I didn't become Greg Denning, like I'm not like him, but I did raise my own positive energy levels because for my own benefit and my children's benefit. Then, when I move out of those higher positive emotions, I move back to neutral, right? Do you see the difference there? So when I'm in lower energy, lower emotion, I'm more at neutral than I am in the negative.
It's almost like gravity works with emotions as well.
Yeah.
There's this
That's
pull. There's this pull down. So if we turn on positive emotion, if we bring better energy, then when we come down, we come to a good state instead of being just flat and then getting pulled into negative
In
states.
fact, it's really funny because Greg literally generally operates at like enthusiasm, joy. Like he's way up at these higher level emotions. And so it's kind of a joke in our family because he moves down to something like
Pensive.
pensive or contentment. We're like, what's wrong?
My kids are like, "Dad, are you okay? Has something happened?" I'm like, "I'm just thinking, just having a
Wait,
moment."
it's the right? So, and I think that this ties in very well with emotional maturity because I do feel that part of maturity is being able to move into higher level positive emotions and to maintain that for longer periods of time. That is magic to creating a more positive environment because even if your children operate lower than where you're at, your positivity is automatically pulling them up higher. So their lower level emotions are higher than negativity. That is a key thing I had to learn. I had to learn to move into higher level emotions and to maintain that so that my children didn't. Because again, like Greg said, there's this gravity to emotions. It's easy to fall into negative level emotions. It's very easy. And if we're at neutral, our children are probably going to be in the negative. So in order for us to maintain higher levels of emotion in our family, Greg and I are in charge of part of this responsibility. We are in charge of having and maintaining higher level of emotions to pull the family out.
Man, I don't know how to emphasize that enough. So you guys, another way to say this is stop being the thermometer and start being the thermostat. You, as the mature, responsible adult, are responsible to set the temperature, the
Emotional
tone.
temper.
Yeah, the emotional temperature, the energy in the house. Don't let them do it. Because if you wake up and you're like, "Oh boy, let's see where the kids are at today," they're gonna find their way to mayhem and chaos and fighting. So you have to roll in with high energy. There was
This
a
isn't the song and dance, and it's not fake. It's
it's just
not putting on a mask of like, oh, I'm happy when I'm not. We're not talking about that.
it's just pot. positive. I don't know if you guys know this happened, but I'm gonna share a fun little story. So I walked out of my office and there was a big gathering of kids outside, and there was a little guy who was really frustrated because he wanted attention from his older sister, and she happens to be giving that attention to a young boy she likes.
Cute.
A kid. And so this little guy's just so frustrated. He's sitting there, he's like, please, and wasn't getting attention. So he starts kicking. And she kept her composure. Did you guys hear the story yet? No. So she keeps her composure and she's like, please stop. And he stopped for like half a second and he kicks again harder. And I'm just watching and he keeps kicking and she keeps correcting. He keeps kicking. And so I'm like, okay, they've maxed out here on handling this. And so I go in, just tons of positivity, like no correction, no nothing, just tons of positivity. I grab him upside down. Whoop. Right? And I'm holding him upside down and bouncing him. I'm like, what is going on? Like, why you're kicking? And he starts squealing like a little pig. Right? And so I just cover his mouth and I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, you're not a little pig, you're a man. Right? You're a little man,
Well,
not a little pig.
which is very relevant because we have
We had a
18 pigs out here, and a few of
yesterday we
them
had a
were squealing.
screaming pig. And so it was all playful. And he's reacting like, I don't like you picking me up and I don't like you intervening in what I'm trying to get. And then I was tickling and then he's squealing and I'm tickling and it's all playful, but I'm correcting, I'm playful. And I set him down, he's running around and I plop him on the beanbag and he's like, ah. And so finally he runs over and jumps in their laps and is like, save me from him. Right. And so I became like, I'm the pattern interrupter. And then I'm like, you're still exposed. And I tickle him a little bit. And it was just all this playfulness and joy. Like I just brought a lot of positive energy into a little bit of frustrated interaction. Right. It was playfulness. And when I went away, they were kind of all goofy, just laughing, joking. Right. And so we can bring positive energy even when there's this negative state. Again, that's a key element in response ability.